Hi everyone, welcome to my 2025 wrap-up. Today we are taking a look back at the entire year and we are going to look at everything I made this year. It's been kind of productive, I'd say, looking at all of this around me. And I'm very excited to show you, just in an overview, the entire year in knitting, sewing and crochet, recent edition. So last year I went more chronological, so I went quarter by quarter. This time I wanted to do it a little bit differently, mainly because I also have just kind of a couple of series / combination of items that make up one outfit that were not necessarily made one after the other. I wanted to show them kind of together. So what we're going to do is we're going by craft, meaning that we will start with the most recent addition to my crafting obsession, if you can call it that, which is crochet. Then we are moving on to this, the sewing that's behind me, and we are ending strong with the craft that yielded the most items, which is knitting. So yeah, we're going through everything, and then I'm also going to link all the patterns, and for most of these items there's also a video available. I will link all of that in the description. So let's just start, because I feel like this may have potential to be a very long video if I don't just get started. Like I said, we are going to start with crochet, which coincidentally is just on the top here, and there's something here. Anyway, I'm gonna show you everything on as well. The first thing I made, which is also the first part of my crochet journey, if you will, are the Arctic slippers by Drops. And yeah, this was the first thing I really made in crochet. I've done crochet edges for other stuff, but I've never completely crocheted an item, so this was very exciting and the start of a new obsession. Then the next thing I made is a hat, the Ivory drift hat by Drops. Here it is. And I think it looks adorable. Then I wanted to make a scarf to go with the hat, but I couldn't really find a pattern I liked. So even though I'm still a crochet novice, I decided to create something myself. I think it turned out really nice. And then already the final item in this category, we have the Coffeehouse Santa hat. Twice actually. And that is everything I made crochet-wise. I'm still working on a couple of things, but they're not going to be finished in 2025, so you will see those next year. Now let's move on to the next category, sewing. I want to start with something that's just a little bit more random. These were two little projects I did to kind of use up some fabric I had left over in my stash. Up first we have this black skirt with some kind of flowery design. It's just a really simple skirt. There's not even a pattern really, it's just really simple A-line kind of skirt. And up next we have this other skirt, which is kind of the same silhouette, and this is made out of actually swimwear fabric, because I once upon a time wanted to make my own swimwear, but I never did. So I turned it into a skirt. Then it's time for the linen staple journey pieces. So in this series, if you will, on my channel, I wanted to make, well, linen staples. I just wanted some linen items because I love wearing linen in summer. Just some things that are a little bit more basic that just work throughout most of the season. Up first, the item of everything I made this year that I've been wearing the most, and I'm absolutely in love with it. It's the Avril dress by GaliaCouture in this lovely blue linen. I love this one so much. I'm obsessed. Highly recommend this pattern. Then up next we have a AI trap, which was fun. This is the Nova pattern. I'm not even going to say who the seller is or the designer, because I don't think it's worth buying, because the pattern makes no sense. But I think I managed to make it into something that's relatively okay looking. The next one is the Anabelle dress by, let me check, PatternCos. That's how it's pronounced, I'm not sure. In this really lovely kind of dusty pink-ish. I'm really bad at describing colors, but you can see it on the screen. And this one is also one of my favorites. I love the fit of this. It's just so beautiful. Highly recommend. And then the final installment of this series is the Sollya Romper by Mood Fabrics. I struggled with this one. I don't think the pattern made a lot of sense. And I think there were maybe some mistakes in there. I'm not sure, but I like it. I just don't wear it that often because I feel like the waist area is a little bit strange. Then we have another special item, which I don't have with me right now because I think it's somewhere in my suitcase at the bottom, far in the back of my storage. So I cannot get to it now. But it's my beach bag. This was something I'm extremely proud of. Now, this was also one of my favorite items I made this year. I went on holiday to Croatia for 3 weeks and I was using this every single day. And I will be using it for many, many years to come. I love it. Up next, what was for me at least the most exciting sewing series I did this year, which is my late Victorian outfit. Last year, you may have seen that I made a chemise and I think the corset was last year as well, maybe the year before. I'm not sure, but I made those items and now it was time to actually start building up the entire thing. So we're going with, well, it's both chronological order and order of putting it on. The first thing I made was this petticoat. This is the Truly Victorian TV 170. They're all truly Victorian patterns, by the way. This is made out of a really basic white cotton with some lovely blue details. And I think it turned out really nice. Then next we have the, again, Truly Victorian TV 107 this time. This is the corset cover, which I'm obsessed with. And I've been wanting to make one out of regular fabric just for normal everyday clothing. I haven't done that yet, but probably when summer comes around I will. I think it looks so nice. I love the fit of it, the silhouette, it's just beautiful. Then it was time for the outer layers. Up first the Truly Victorian TV 94, which is the skirt. This is the French fan skirt if I'm correct. I didn't write it down, but I think that's it. And it's not perfect. I've been noticing it more and more when wearing it and filming with it that the hem is not very even. That's fine, I can fix it if I want to, but for now it's not bothering me too much. Then the final piece, the bodice. This is the Truly Victorian, again, TV 493. This is just a basic bodice, I believe they call it, and I do think that one turned out beautiful. I'm so happy with it, and I'm in general just really happy with the entire outfit I made. And now I'm working on my next historical series, which you will see in 2026. So that is all the sewing I did, which is not that much actually. I feel like I made more last year, but I feel like there were some really exciting items this year. Now the final category, the most productive one if you will, the knitting category. Again, I have a couple of, not necessarily series, but I made some collections for this. I want to start with one that's actually a series. This is the second half of my Knitting Through the 1900s series, which I started in 2024 and I finished it in 2025. So up first, we have the 1940s two-color jumper by Bestway. This one is the first pattern I found for this series, once I decided I wanted to do the series, because I had seen it on Engineering Knits before and I really wanted to make it. So this was the first one I picked and I am really happy with it. Then we have something a little bit different. This is my 1930s swimsuits, designer unknown. I feel like that's very common in those days. I have not been wearing it as much just because it's a bit more difficult to wear. I've been mainly wearing it as a body with a skirt, which is also fine. Now it's time for a non-clothing item. This is my 1920s purse. It was called a knitted silk purse. Again, no designer known. And I've been using this for just storage of some of my notions for knitting and stuff like that. And for the 1910s, we have the women's gloves, is what it was called. Very basic. Again, no designer known. This was quite a challenge if you've seen the video, but I do think they ended up looking really nice. We also have the final installment of the Knitting Through the 1900s series, which is this Zero's Oxford Hug Me Tight. And it's by Miss Loch, I believe. And I think this was a great ending to this series. I think it looks so nice. I love the yarn, I love the fit. It was a great finale project. Now I want to go through some of my summary knits, if you will. Up first I have a combination of two items, and it's my Dancing Leaves skirt, which is a skirt I designed and I released a pattern for it. And then I also made a Dancing Leaves matching top, for which I have not released a pattern yet. It will probably be released somewhere in the springtime. I'm not sure yet, I need to work on that, but I did make both items and I do think, if I do say so myself, they look really nice together. Then another one of my own designs. This is the A Touch of Flowers top. I've made one on holiday in 2024, but in 2025 I wrote the pattern for it and then I made another one and I made a video about it. I already knew what I also really like this color variation I have now. Then we have something that I actually kind of recycled from 2024. This is the Walking on Air top. And I made this out of yarn I bought in Portugal in 2024. And then on my vacation in Croatia, I made a top out of it. And I did really like it. It's just not the most wearable for me because you cannot wear it without a bra and that's really annoying. So I frocked it and I turned it into this top, which I already have in a different color and different yarn. So I knew I would like it. And now I really like it and I wear it all the time. Then we have another simple summer top. This is the Cocoa Beach top. And this was made out of yarn I had left over from another project. And it's a really, really simple cropped summer top, but it's very wearable, so I really like it. Then we have my 3 Croatia summer vacation knits. Up first, the Dove's Bay Vest. Then we have the Aiyu tee. And finally, the Nostalgia top. Then to stay within the kind of summer theme, I also made a kind of beach dress. This is the Rose Whisper dress. This is the same yarn as the Cocoa Beach, and I made this one first and then I used the leftover yarn from this for the Cocoa Beach. I've been getting a lot of wear out of this on my vacation as a beach cover-up. Now we're getting into more of the all wintry seasons. I want to start with the cardigans I made this year. First we have the Folklore cardigan. This is the Line brand yarn pattern for it, and in hindsight I feel like I could have sized up for a more slouchy look, but I also think this looks really nice. I just don't button it up and that works out fine. Then we have the honey cardigan, which I've been wearing all the time because it's been really, really cold and it's really nice and warm. This is by Veronika Lindberg and it's just really nice and fluffy and poofy and I love it. Highly recommend. And then the final cardigan item is my Robinson Web cardigan handmade by Florence. I haven't worn it as much yet because I just finished it right before Christmas break started and I want to wear it to ballet, but I haven't had ballet classes because of the Christmas break. But in the new year, I will be wearing this to ballet. Then we have the sweaters. I've only made 3 this year, which kind of surprises me because normally I feel like that's the biggest category, but I have 3. The first one is the Maybe Forever sweater by, again, Veronika Lindberg. I love her design, so I was really excited to make this one. And again, it's kind of like the honey cardigan. It's a really poofy, fluffy fabric and I've been wearing it all the time to keep me nice and warm. I think it's beautiful. And then the final 2 items in this category are both my own designs. The first one is the bunch of Hocus Pocus sweater that I made, inspired by the Hocus Pocus movies. I also released the pattern for this and I've been really, really loving this sweater. I think it's so nice, if I do say so myself. The second one is the 'Tis the Damn Season sweater, inspired by the song 'Tis the Damn Season from one of my favorite Taylor Swift albums, Evermore. This one also has a really nice colorwork yoke and I have also been wearing this a lot. So I may not have made a lot of sweaters, but the ones that I've made have been worn a lot, so yeah, it's okay. I'm also working on a couple more right now, but again, you will see those in 2026. Then I have 2 miscellaneous things. I have my stash busting scrunchies. This was a pattern from a name I'm not going to pronounce correctly. I'm just going to put it on screen. And I just used up some scrap yarn to make a couple of scrunchies. And then finally we have my pride and joy. This has been one of the most exciting knitting projects of this year. It's my Christmas blanket. The pattern is kind of a combination of 2 patterns. So I combined charts of 2 different patterns to create my own kind of pattern. I used 2 patterns by Jenny Watson for that and I'm so happy with it. As soon as it was finished, it was on the sofa and I've been snuggled up underneath it all December, November, and probably will be for January. And then it will have to go into storage for next year, which I'm already really sad about, but I'm going to enjoy it while I can. It's so lovely. I love it. What's going on with my camera? I think my camera is telling me to wrap it up quickly now because it's been going on for too long. Anyway, so that's everything I made in 2025. We have, let me give you some totals, 5 crochet items, 11 sewing items, and 22 knitting items. So yeah, all in all, I'd say it's been a very productive year. I've discovered a new craft. crochet. And I've been working on something I wanted to do for a while, which has been historical sewing. Okay, the battery died in the middle of the outro. Let's try that again. Anyway, like I said, I've really enjoyed 2025. I've enjoyed learning how to crochet, and I will be taking my 2025 newly discovered crafts into the next year, and I will be doing more crochet. I will be doing more historical sewing. And I'm very, very excited for what's to come in 2026. So thank you to everyone who watched my videos in 2025. Thank you to all my new subscribers and everyone who liked and commented. It's been a great year and I am very, very excited for the next year. I hope you all join me in 2026 on more sewing, knitting and crochet adventures and something else. I'm going to try something new, so keep an eye out for that. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing. For now, I'm going to end this here because my camera has been giving me signs that this has been going on for too long. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching 2025. Have a great day, have a great new year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.